Hello everyone, this is Darwell20, and welcome to episode 5 of Darwell20's Let's Play of FTB Evolution. Today's plan, I want to get into refined storage. However, I found a small blocking point that is not the end of the world, because it's kind of something I wanted to do anyway, so it's a nice segue into something I wanted to do anyway. While looking through all the things we need for refined storage and all the yada yada yadas, I assumed that refined storage gave you the smelting recipe for like quartz directly into silicon. I also therefore assumed that FTB evolution unified silicon into applied energistics version of silicon because there's really only one silicon in the pack. Unless you count like modern industrialization's silicon, which is not silicon, it's a silicon ingot or a monocrystalline silicon, so they're different things. But point being, there's really only one silicon, and it's AE's silicon. So that said, we need to somehow crush down our quartz into quartz dust. Now, there's a couple ways we could go about this. I've been wanting to do create anyway, but create's like a whole rabbit hole that we're going to have to dive down, and I want to get refined storage going before I get create going. So we're going to pass on create. And also, the crushing wheel from create is not early game create either. Like, it takes a hot minute to get there. I'm thinking we're going to do the crusher from Mekanism, because in order to get that, we're going to need some basic control circuits. And guess what? I wanted those anyway so that I can make my Oredictionificator and see if I can convert those coal gems down in that coal area into straight up coal, because they have the same tag. So I may be able to convert them. I'm just curious if it'll work. I don't know. So in order for this to work, we need steel. And we need basic control circuits, right? So like steel ingot equals smelting steel dust, which I'm assuming we can get from the metallurgic infuser with carbon and enriched iron. Does that sound all like a fun time for the day? I hope so, because that's basically what we're doing. So let me get 1, 2, 3, 4 of these dudes, and then a little bit more cobble. And then we're going to get 2 metallurgic infusers. Ba-ding. Now, I do not have wiring set up yet, per se. Or proper power gen, or basically anything that you would want. So, we're going to have to kind of like play with the simple coal generator a little bit in terms of doing something like this. And like just making things work, right? So in the efforts of like being more efficient with things, I'm going to get... like a little bit of coal and a little bit of redstone. So if I throw 1 coal in there, how much carbon does that take, ye old metallurgic infuser? Does that use all 10? Because remember, it'll be way more efficient once I get my first. Yeah, it does. Okay. So I'm going to need 3. Right? And then to get my first enrichment chamber, so we're going to need 4 steel. And then we're going to need 2 of these. And these dudes are going to be osmium with redstone, right? So like 2 redstone and 2 osmium. Cool. And the nice thing about having an early-ish game version of like the crusher and the enrichment chamber is I can do a little bit of extra ore producing. So having these early on will be nice, right? And now I'm going to need 4 more to turn this into steel. Okay. Or are you 2? Or did I like math that wrong? I guess you are 2. Yeah, look at that. Oops, what did I click there? Public? Is that the default? Yes, public is the default. Cool. All right, so a couple steel dusts, which can then be smelted. You guys are good to go there. And you guys are done. You guys are done. I was hoping I could like click up there and be like, oh yeah, look at me. But nope. All right. So then the first thing I want to get is a enrichment chamber, just so I can like enrich stuff. I'm gonna need some sand, but not that much sand. Just a little bit of sand. Okay. So that I can enrich the subsequent stuffs, right? So let me get some of that cooking, and that'll be cool. All right. So enrichment chamber done, and then I'm gonna need a couple buckets of lava, which I should sort of kind of maybe have. Where is my? There it is. Yes. So another bucket, please. Hot stuff. You know it. Achievement get. So for power gen, you notice that I made a pocket generator. Thank you very much. Ooh, an advanced energy cube? That's kind of a hugely cool reward to get randomly for me right now. That's like really beneficial, actually. I am not upset by that at all. Oh, look, we got some belt things going on. Actually, additions. That's right, I found a worm. All right, so oh, we have to eat them like that. Handed in those quests while I was waiting for stuff. What do we get? Ooh, flawed balance gem. Ooh, spore in a sack. What's that do again? That's a thingy, right? Work in progress, I assume. Releases up to 4 homing spores. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if, like, I guess because, like, it's in there, the functionality is functional. These spores deal damage equal to 10% of the player's missing health and block healing for affected targets. This ability can trigger once the player's health. Okay, that's interesting. I guess we can't unlock it yet. Okay, so I can't unlock it yet. Fair enough. I wasn't sure if the work in progress thing meant, like, just the picture was work in progress, or, you know, I can't unlock it. I think it means I can't unlock it yet. Fair enough. All right, so enriched carbon goes in there. Enriched redstone goes in there. I'm going to throw in a few more osmium, and I'm assuming I've got raw osmium somewhere. Now, I can one-to-one you. I'm thinking I can't do the hammery bit. Very few ores work with that hammery bit, but that's fair. I could 4 to 3 it with the enrichment chamber if I want. I don't think I can straight up crusher it. Normally you have to do like the not hydrogen chloride one, but this one, and then you can crusher that. But I can still 4 to 3 the enrichment chamber, so that's, you know, a little extra on the osmium front. Sweet. Let's check out while we're here. So, like, at this point, I want to make the crusher. So let me make, I'm thinking we're going to want at least this many, right? Maybe 2. We'll start with just 2. Because I want to make the crusher so I can do my thing. And then does this need? It does not, actually, so that's cool. Well, let's make this Oredictionificator. Well, it does need the 4 steel anyway, but yes, the dictionary will just need a book, which I should have a bunch of books because I found bookshelves out and about in the world at one point. So that's cool. Nice. Look who came to visit me while I was crafting. Oh yeah, voluntary exile. Man, that is a high jump when you do that, isn't it? Oh, another one. Where'd you come from? Wasn't I just here? Whatevs. I'll take all your experience and loots. You go away, and you, and that's cool. All right, so I should, if I'm not mistaken, have a lot of the stuff that I want. Let's now try to make. So there's enriched iron. I'm gonna actually need you to get smelted up for the next bit. But since I was fighting pillagers, I thought I'd record that part real quick. Be right back. All right, quick nap, and we're ready to go. So let's try out this unification dude, because I think I can do this, provided I do this. Now, does this need power, or, like... Okay, I don't know how this works. Side config, transporter config. Not ores. Is it gems? Nope. What are you? Crystals. crystals coal. Okay. Now I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that you also had Minecraft coals. Minecraft coals. All right, so new filter, Minecraft coals. Unsupported tag. Unsupported tag. Minecraft colon. Oh, that's a bummer. That may not work. All right, let me play with it off camera for a minute before I decide it doesn't work. All right, so don't think this will work, but if I do want to convert them from A to B, I think I found a way to do it. I can either use the crushing wheel from Create or the sag mill to turn coal geode shards into this, because these accept any Minecraft coal. Okay, not all of these do. So, for example, if we look at the Mekanism crusher, it accepts Minecraft coal. That's it. It doesn't accept any Minecraft coal tag. Okay, but the sag mill and the crushing wheel do. And then I can take that dust and enriching chamber it back into coal. All right. So there's how you can almost definitely, I'm like 99% sure before trying it, that that's doable. That said, I really want to focus more on making refined storage happen today. So we're going to get back to that, and then we'll come back to this. So speaking of refined storage, I need my crusher, which needs, and then badoop. One more osmium in my redstone-y dude, and then we're good to go. Cool. And then once I get my crusher cooking, I'm going to remove you and then crusher up a bunch of good stuff. Now, I found a really cool recipe, which is like exceedingly overpowered, which is right up my alley. Let me tell you. Let me tell you how up my alley overpowered recipes are. Like, whoo, do I look forward to using this recipe, because it looks cool. All I need is a smidgen of sand, and while I'm here, I can put this away and turn off F3H, because some blocks have a lot of tags. Check out this thing. So there's a quartz blend, which is added by extended AE, and it's either quartz dust or nether quartz dust, along with a couple charcoal and sand, or coal. I think because I'm actually a little bit low on you, I'm going to use you, charcoal. And this stuff is cool because like 1 quartz turns into 6 quartz blend, and then you're ready for this shenaniganry. 1 quartz blend turns into 4 silicon. So is my math correct that like we're getting 24 silicon per quartz right now? I believe that to be true. Indubitably. Granted, it uses a little bit coal and sand to augment it, so it's not like that OP, but like it's a little OP. And for that, I am not complaining. Okay. Can you push up, please? Output top. How about do that? And then you can output on to the top. And then, yeah, buddy. Like, look at all that coolness, right? I think that's like more than enough to satisfy our silicon needs for the immediate future, right? A little bit more sand may not hurt. Is that cool? I think that's cool. That's going to be like a really silly amount of silicon, right? And it's like, it's going to be pretty cool. What was that? That was 8 quartz, right? So we'll see how much silicon I get from that. But I'm excited by that amount. So now it should be, I think I'm probably going to need more redstone. I think that's, well, good, I have some. So never mind. Never mind. I definitely have some more redstone. So I'm going to start with you two so that I can get quartz enriched. Ooh, there we go. Sweet. Okay, that's not a bad start. And then we're going to want probably some slime, which I've got, and some string, which I may have less of. But at least we can get the ball rolling here and start with 32 of them. So, like, let's start with I'm going to start with like 8 of you, and probably 8 of you, and probably 4 of you. And we'll see how far that gets me, along with all my silicons. So yeah, 3 stacks of silicon from 8 quartz. And a little coal and sand. Like this part of the recipe was like, wow, that's a lot. And then I saw this and was like, wow, that's a real lot. Those numbers multiply. I like multiplication because it leads to really big numbers. I like it, said the dyer. So yeah, you will now be 8, 8, and 4. No, not 4. What are we missing out on here? There we go. I guess you didn't notice I was hitting shift, did you? That should be cool. Definitely need to do some kind of little tick acceleratoriness. We'll get there when we get there. You know me. I don't usually wait too long. No, it's the pouch thingy, right? Time pouch, temporal pouch. So all I really need to get this going is a Nautilus shell. You find those, like, in the world, right? If I'm remembering correctly-ish. Alright, so you're definitely going to be out of power soon. Why don't we do this? Right? And then your side config will be such that you output on the top and invert that. Yeah, you know what I mean. And that'll at least, like, get you going. Cool. That'll hold me over a little bit. Sweet. Alright, so you're ready to do this, which needs any stone. Which, if I remember correctly, I was using tough, right? Tough is a stone. Alright, controller is a good. Nice. Alright, I'm going to put you in here for the time being, and you guys... All my mechanism-y stuff should maybe go into its own dedicated chest for a minute, because I'm, like, really close to getting a refined storage system, so, you know. Oh, I have a lot of junk. This is why I need refined storage. Like, I'm like, 3 episodes in, and I'm like, inventory issues. Okay. So with that covered, you're done. Get me just, like, a couple... Oh, you need... quartz-enriched copper. That's a new resource that I've never seen before. Have we even processed or done anything with copper yet? I mean, no? And copper's so common that I'm not going to waste my time processing it more than just, like, smelting it. Like, why waste my hammer durability and stuff on something that I get literally, like, thousands of and I'm always voiding? Copper, there's definitely a lot of copper in the world. And in fairness, in vanilla, the main purpose of copper is, like, decorative. So I get why there's a lot of copper in the world. What was I making? Quartz-enriched copper. That's cool. Then I need some glass, so I should hang on to that glass, because I know I'm going to need more of it. Great. Alright, disk drive. I'm going to grab just a bunch of tough, because clearly I'm going to need probably at least a few more of these guys to get me going. Okay. So that'll cover you two. And I removed an upgrade, but meh, life will go on. So generally, I'm going to do this, and then that. And we're going to absolutely need to, like, sort power out very quickly, because... you know, running this off of a battery that I'm not continuing to charge is probably going to be a bad play for me. But we'll figure it out. Cool. So now you should not be using any power. And now we need the grid that's going to go here. So that's going to be another one of you. That's right, I probably need glowstone for this bit, right? I'm not mistaken. 1 and 1 will be grid. and crafting grid. Nice. I wonder if I'm getting any cool rewards for doing all this stuff. Oh. I don't know why I chose to put silicon in there, but that's probably not where I wanted that to go. Yeah, let's check it out. Refined storage. Oh, good. We are doing things. Nice. Ooh, a piece of silicon. So, to be clear, that could have been a 4096 or a 16384K storage part. Or it could have been a 256K storage part. Or it could have been a diamond autocrafter. But you know what I got? A piece of silicon. That thing that we have like infinity billion of. Give me something better this time. A pattern? Still meh. A speed upgrade? I mean, it's absolutely it's a choice. It's very much a choice. I don't even know if it went into my inventory. Where'd it go? There it is. Speed upgrade and patterns. Well, I got 14 patterns, so I guess that's better than nothing. All right, the next part of crafting is going to be slow and boring, and I'm probably going to need more iron bits. So I'm going to make more iron bits, and we'll be right back. How about, so like in total, if I wanted a 16K storage unit, which I probably do, at least to start, that'll be 9... Actually, you're not bad to make 1K storage bits. So 12? Am I right with that number? So 6 more iron should get me what I need. I want to say that's correct. Okay. And I'm definitely like doing this before I'm properly ready to, but you know. Okay, what are we short on? Sand, I bet. Yep. All right, I'm gonna go get stuff and craft this and come back when we're ready. All right, so if I'm not mistaken, because of a mistaken click at some point, I decided to move forward with... Actually, I need one more of these, don't I? Okay, a little bit more. All right, 64K storage part can become a 64K disk for storing items, which means as soon as I hook... I have no idea how I managed to pull that off. As soon as I hook you back up, I should be able to, as one would expect, store items. Hooray! There is much rejoicing. All right, now, before I go too crazy storing items, we're going to need to have power as a solution and functional storage as a solution. And what I'd love to have to go along with my functional storage is a bunch of wood to make functional storage with, because I think I'm out of oak logs. Just a little bit. So I should set up some kind of tree farm to get a lot of oak. We're going to need some kind of power gen that we can rely on. Now what I'm thinking is, if I can get this going real quick, that could be cool. And we have a decent amount of gold now. So what I'm thinking is, let's get an imbuement chamber set up with... Do I have any more of that stuff? The arc wood planks? Gotta sleep through the night. And FYI, I was having all kinds... Like, I went down mining, and I encountered somewhere, somehow, that had some kind of weird super lag making thing. Like, my TPS just tanked. So I tried to run a Spark profile. So if you notice that I have cheat mode enabled, it's because I needed that to run the server-side Spark profile. Unfortunately, the lag settled down before... And it wasn't World Gen. I'm almost certain it wasn't World Gen. Something weird. I guess we'll see what happens. I don't want to chop down this whole tree yet, which is why I'm not vein mining it, for the record. I'm just gonna, you know, take some of its roots. Can we super quick? I don't think there's much that needs that. So a bit of gold for me, please, and then I'll be happy. So if I got, like, a little bit of an Ars start today, which you no longer need to exist, right? Let's get a little bit of this going. Would that be cool? I feel like it would be cool. So I want to automate the coal collecting dude and then make it so that I can get lots of coal from him, and that'll be neat. Let me come back in a sec after I process some source gems. Alright, this is a temporary location for this dude. But is that right? And then we want pedestals from Ars. which I just need another couple of source gems and a couple of gold nuggets, and I should be cool. So you guys get to crafting, right? But in theory, I should be able to. I only need 2 of these, right? Because I need a couple source gems to make the craft. But yeah, but like you're gonna go there, and then we're gonna have a stick, right? You guys are getting there on the source gem production. They are slow without source. Cool. And then you need more pedestals. You're gonna need more this. Is calcite a stone? I guess we'll find out. Nope. I might have the smelt cobble. I don't know. I don't generally grab tough when I'm underground, but sometimes I do. Should probably grab it more. All right. So that would be a little bit more crafting. Back in a sec. All right. Let's see if I'm ready. So the arcane crystal must be aligned at the base of the enchanting act. What now? There we go. Cool. I knew it looked funny. I didn't know this could rotate. That might be a new thing. But now that we have a Dominion wand, I should be able to... Wherever my thing was. Now, where is that? That's right, I had the thingy, doing the stuffs. Where's that thingy that teleports me home? There it is. Teleporting. I like that UI. Just putting that out there. It's a great UI. All right, so how do I use you again? Do I do like stored entity home set? And he picks it up, right? Does he not pick it up? I thought that was your whole thing, is you pick it up and put it in there. Pick it up and put it in there. He's got it. Put it in there. Hooray! He put it in there. Good job, G-War Golem. So now this whole chunk should probably get loaded. And it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to load this one either. Right? I'm cool with that. So now, in theory, he hangs out. In theory, this should also work. And it's doing a thing. And for the record, we could use applied energistics to speed these things up too. I'm just putting that out there. I'm assuming at some point he will be all kinds of cool and pick up that, yes, good, and then place. Go ahead, you can do it. It goes in there, buddy. Do thing. Thank you. Now break this one and put it in there. You get the point. And then what I should be able to do is, I guess I don't have any inventory for that. So you can go in there now, right? I don't need you no more. We'll keep one because I don't think I've made a locky doohickey yet. And then we can home, and then you can be responsible for doing that. Cool? And the Geor coal doesn't do quite as good. It has less ticks, so it's like half as good as coal, right? But like, for now. Eventually, I can make that better. But in theory, if he's fast enough, I could just, we could do better. We could absolutely do better. And basically just have unlimited coal. Very easily. Because all we need, if I'm being completely honest, all we really need to make this like super unlimited OP is a breaker from Just Dire Things, or any other breaker for that matter, and an energizer from Applied Energistics. Right, and just set it up like I would one of the Certus growers, right? Like the whole it grows Certus, and then, right, that's absolutely how that would be automated, right? But meh, I think it's about that point. So let's wrap up the episode here. We'll come back next time, and when we get back, I'm going to work on power gen. We could just do what I just described and use coal as a power gen. Maybe? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's the route I'm going to take. But maybe is what I'm going to say. Maybe. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. But at least for now, we've got something happening, right? We're probably going to need a basement. We're probably going to need a lot of things. But that's next episode's work. Today, we are going to wrap up. So, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Refined storage is up and running. A little basic stuff happening here, too, with our friends from Ars Nouveau. Might want to do some RZ stuff this season, too, because I've been skipping up the last couple seasons. I keep saying I want to do Ars Nouveau, and then not doing Ars Nouveau. So, like, also, there's, like, to make it fresh, there's a whole magic tree here, which is really cool, right? And I would like to understand what that's all about. There's one for irons, but there's also one for Rs. And I'd like to kind of see how OP I can get with some of these things. Because I imagine pretty good, right? I don't know what stamina does, remember? But knockback resist or natural healing. That's cool. Max health or base armor. Both are cool. Max health, max health. Neato. Alright, gotta wrap up. I'm having too much fun. For now, take it easy.